again, everyone, who's here in our audience, as well as those who are watching on TV, or online. But we're going to go ahead and start with Shure. We've got Peter, Herr, and Evan Groom. So thank you so much for joining us today.
Thanks for having us.
Wonderful.
Glad to be here.
So as many companies are starting to navigate back to the office, what types of tech are in demand right now in terms of collaboration gear and what's needed in those meeting rooms?
Yeah, I think one thing that we're seeing is as people kind of come back to the office or have more of those kind of needs for hybrid spaces that just need that remote connection, right? They need to get pretty much any kind of room becomes a meeting room in some ways, a place where people can get together. And one of the things that we're seeing is just something that, something that's easy and scalable, and quick to deploy is so key, especially some of those, large organizations that even have in-house, in-house AV or an IT folks that just really need that's quick and easy. We've got a solution actually that we're launching here at the show, which we're super excited about, the MXA902, which is an integrated conferencing ceiling array. Which basically has an array microphone, a loudspeaker, and DSP all in one unit. So it's literally throw it in the ceiling and it's up and running.
Yep. Well, Evan, I think it's really, really easy to think that we fully understand what's happening in the workforce right now, right? But we'll say this, it's a decentralized workforce, but one of the things, we had a chance to talk about this before the show, that's really driving innovation right now is the actual in-home experience, right? It's great to have amazing collaboration tools in the office, and it's one of the things that drive people back, but the end-user experience at home is paramount. What are some of the ways that you guys are addressing that challenge specifically?
Yeah, we definitely have a lot of solutions. Shure's kind of a household name. Just a lot of people know us from the pro audio industry, but yeah, I think if you look at emojis in your iPhone, it's a Shure microphone in the emoji. So we're pretty well known. But yeah, you're right. It's equally important to have good sounding audio at home as well as the office as well. So we've seen a massive uptick in sales in the SM7B, which has historically been a broadcasting microphone. A lot of people have those in their home working environments now. We also have a Motive line of products which are simple to use at home, USB connection. So yeah, super important to have that same experience at home.
And in terms of going back to the office, what type of challenges are companies seeing with incorporating, some of the technology that you guys are helping to launch? And so what are those issues that companies are encountering?
I think some of it is, everything that's something that's repeatable and easy to deploy at scale is super helpful to be able to outfit rooms in less time. And then obviously there's always the issue of things like security. Obviously you want to make sure that the connections between those devices is secure and no one's able to eavesdrop on a specific confidential conversation, what have you. But yeah, I think like I kind of said, it's there's more and more spaces that are just needing to become collaboration spaces, and we have to have that technology ready to be able to support that rollout.
Yeah, I think there's been an interesting shift post-pandemic. We can say that now, right? Post-pandemic.
Is that legal?
Right, I don't know.
Hopefully.
To the type of room that's really being used as a meeting space at work, physically in a building. We've seen a large shift to these smaller, more collaborative spaces as opposed to large, complex hybrid spaces. And tying back to what Peter mentioned, the MXA902, which launched last week, and we're showing it here at Infocom, is really the perfect solution for those small to mid-sized spaces, and really is a good answer for the on-site IT person who maybe doesn't know how to configure a pro audio system or configure individual beams from a ceiling array microphone.
Well, Evan, I want to stick on that point. You brought up small, medium-sized businesses, in many ways uniquely affected by the pandemic because space literally at their office is at a premium.
Yep.
So they don't have the benefit of having massive conference rooms where they can install technology and kind of leave it, right? There's flexibility, there's agility that's needed in all these spaces. How is that built into the design process, and how are you seeing that roll out specifically in small, medium businesses?
Yeah, so a good example, I'll just tie it back again to the MXA902. Simplicity was at the core of every decision through the product development process of that. So everything from physically installing the microphone in the room, it's super simple, you just drop it into a ceiling grid. Wiring it, it's a single Cat5 cable, so stuff that in-house IT staff are usually pretty well aware of. And as far as configuration goes, there's really not that much you have to do to get the microphone up and running. So for these smaller businesses, it's really a good solution as opposed to a larger, more complex AV system. So.
Well, and Peter, one of the battles that we've faced, especially as you look at some of these businesses over the years, is that some of the incredible talent that was in the live events and entertainment world, specifically the pro audio world, found their way into these enterprise businesses throughout COVID, whether it's job security, for whatever reason they came into that space. Shure uniquely has a position to talk to these people, right? As much as we love our pro AV communities, there are a handful of pro audio folks who already have the ear of, the companies already have the ear of some of those folks. What are some of the ways that you've seen those pro audio folks transition into the enterprise space, and how have you specifically been able to help them?
I mean, I think, yeah, that actually is really interesting, and just from the standpoint of our footprint in both worlds, right? Just the option of being able to, engage those folks with solutions that, they can use, whether or not they're, working remote or, doing a corporate presentation. I mean, they basically have, like, the catalog is almost endless from an audio perspective. So being able to kind of engage those pro audio folks in the enterprise space makes a ton of sense.
I think the products are actually pretty interoperable. We do see a lot of the historical pro products, Shure products, being used in the workspace. So things like you would see on live sound acts, you also see in the conference space. So like our ULXD wireless and Axion Digital, definitely see those kind of interplay together.
Well, I'm going to kick this back to you too, Evan. You talk about a lot of those uses inside installations and at homes. A lot of that is used for content creation, which is a kind of interesting application that you're seeing now in the enterprise space, where people, for better or for worse, people like me have their own podcasts, right? I use a Shure SM7B, that's the microphone that I use, but that's also part of my enterprise workflow day. How are you seeing people balance these two worlds?
Yeah, they're definitely interrelated, and like, I guess what I would tie it to is that they are definitely interrelated. We talked earlier about how, the home experience is, products that are typically used for content creation like SM7B or Motive. We're seeing that used in the workforce now, and I think there's a really important trend of the technologies from these very advanced pro AV solutions being used in these more content creation focused applications. Like, you can take technology from a very premium beamforming array microphone and apply that same principle to content creation as well. So that's definitely something we're taking a look at here at Shure, is applying those technologies across the portfolio. So.
Wow, well, I'm learning a lot sitting up here with you guys, so I really appreciate you sharing all of this information.
You can't put 3 audio guys up here and not just spitball.
Yeah, we're just going to jam. It's just going to happen.
I'm going to let it happen. Well, once again, thank you so much for joining us.
Sure, thanks for having us.
Thanks.
Wonderful.
Appreciate it.